Hello guys, Andreas here. I want to show you some progress I have made so far. It's not that much, but you know, it's going on and on with the project. And I hope you like it. So first I will quickly load a mission. I think it's this one here. Okay, nice. So the first thing I want to show you is the new cursor tooltip. So that means depending on the situation, this cursor tooltip is showing you different informations. So for example, if I select this unit here,
enemy unit formation sighted.
the cursor tooltip is showing you this information. For example, how you can change the camera. And if I select more than one unit,
Enemy destroyed.
the information is a bit different because the situation is different and you have other possibilities. Or if you select a vehicle factory, you can see how you can change the rally position or the size of the area. And another example, if I start the clearing tool, you can see how you can change the size of the area or the orientation. So that's, in my opinion, very nice to have.
Okay, we're going to clean this area up.
Okay, the next new feature is the sidebar or the side menu, whatever you want to call it. All these buttons here on the right side. And with these buttons you can quickly reach all the important menu settings, dialogues, whatever. So for example, if I press the main base button, you have immediately access to the build menu. Or if you press the radar button, you see immediately the radar view, and the same with the research button. So it's very nice to have all these buttons here. And also the clearing tool is part of this side menu. And the system button here is a new one. It's connected to the data center. But more about that in a second. First I want to show you some other small new functions. The favorite menu has now a second function, so that means you can now decide if you want to select a building and move the camera to this location, or if you only want to select the building without camera movement. So I will quickly save some new favorites here, all the factories for example. Okay. Now if you press the name inside the list, then only the building is selected. But if you use the button, then the building is selected and also the camera is moving to this location of the building. So that's only a small change, but you know, sometimes it's very helpful to have both options available.
Currently no active production.
Okay. If you have some units selected, so for example if I select maybe these units here,
Ready for use.
then by default if you press the right mouse button, these units get a new waypoint. So like this.
Hopefully the ammo is sufficient.
And then you know the unit starts to move one by one with a little delay. And that looks cool of course, but you know sometimes it's maybe better to have a movement without any delay. And that's not possible
What can we do?
If you have a closer look at the cursor tooltip, you can see Shift plus right mouse button, new waypoints without any delay. So, if I now press and hold down the left Shift key,
Metal and ammo storage.
and then press the right mouse button,
We keep track.
the unit starts immediately to move. So that's a nice additional function, I think. The extractor vehicles will now find the metal spots automatically. So that means you have only to set the rally point of the vehicle factory
Currently no active production.
nearby a metal patch. So for example,
New initial position
like
confirmed.
this. And then you have to build or to create all the extractor vehicles you need, in this case 6. And now you have to wait until all
Starting vehicle production.
the metal spots are captured by the vehicles.
New vehicle completed.
Okay, and now as you can see, all the metal spots are captured by the vehicles. I have also updated the research page a bit. So for example, here on the left side you can see the whole research history, and that's sometimes very helpful. And all the items here has now a small tooltip. So it's only a small information or a short information, but you know,
Need more storages.
better than nothing currently. And another update is some items, especially the upgrade items, has now 4 different stages you can research for. So, for example here, the friendly fire protection, I have already researched for the 2nd stage. So that means in this case 40% less damage. And if I go on with the
New research process started.
research process, the 3rd stage is reached, and then you know I have 60%
Research process completed.
less damage. So that's also a nice additional
We need more storage.
function inside the research procedure. Now we go on with the system data view, and as I said before, this view is connected to the data center. So that means if you have no data center installed, then you have this view not available. And the data center is collecting all the data about your buildings, turrets, vehicles, helicopters and so on. And more interesting is the data about all the metal patches inside your radar range, including all the metal spots.
Metal and fuel storage are full.
So I will show you this in a second. And that's the view of the system data, or menu or setting page, whatever you want to call it. And by default it's showing you all the metal patches inside your radar range, including all the metal spots. And that's very interesting because
New vehicle ready for battle.
the top line is always showing the total amount of metal you can get from the respective patch. So you can easily see that this patch, for example, has the most amount of metal available for you. And then, you know, it makes sense maybe to install an
New
outpost
vehicle
nearby.
ready for battle.
And you can see which spot has which layer available. For example, this metal spot has only the first layer available. There is no second and no third layer. And you can plan that you need only 2 extractor vehicles level 3 for this patch, and so on. I don't know if I have explained it good enough, but maybe you get the idea behind that view. And the larger your radar range is, the more data is showing here, of course. And then there are some other overviews. So for example, all your buildings. You see if there is any damage to any building, or if a shield is installed, how many energy is needed for all the different buildings, and so on. And then we have all the turrets with data about health, ammo, shield. The same for vehicles. For example, this vehicle is heavy damaged. Well,
This vehicle needs some repair.
that's true. And helicopters, but currently I have no helicopters created here in this mission. Oh. What's going on here?
Enemy is history. Ready for use.
Ammo and fuel storage are full.
Baby.
Destroyed.
Okay.
Got him.
And there's also an overview of all
Enemy
your
has been eliminated.
extractors. And for example, the capacity of each of them. Okay, so that's the system data view. So in some cases it's very helpful to have all the data available, you know, and maybe it's a good function. The next one is a new building or a structure, and it's called sensor tower. And the sensor tower has an enemy detector module installed, and that's not true for all the buildings inside Hyperwar. So all the buildings cannot detect enemy units, only turrets can, and vehicles of course. And you know, then it's sometimes a good idea to
New
place
vehicle await orders.
a sensor tower on the edge of your base, for example, to spot for enemy units. And as you can see, the green cycle marker is showing you the range. So that's a very large range.
New vehicle completed.
And all the turrets inside that range gets a bit more fire range. So that's also a small advantage. And if you have enough power, you can place a shield on top of such a tower.
Shield installed. Shield installed.
And then, you know, you can,
Fuel storage is full.
for example, reposition some turrets in order to have these turrets below the shield. And then these towers or these turrets are a little bit more protected. So I think you get the idea here. And by the way, it looks very cool if all the lights are going on here.
Without energy, nothing works.
Okay, energy problem.
Ammo and fuel storage are full.
As ever.
All lights turned off. All shields turned off. All lights turned on.
Okay, that's the new sensor tower. I like it. The last new feature is another new building,
We are under attack.
and that's the drone station.
Friendly fire detected.
Okay, some battles nearby my base. I think that's okay. Yeah. And my plan is to have 4 different types of drones, so a scan drone, a recycle drone, a support drone and a combat drone. And the scan drone and recycle drone are already implemented. And I will show you these drones in a second, but the others, like the combat and support drone, are not. And I think I will
We need more storages.
start developing after the demo, I think. So that's a lot of work, you know. So the first step is to build a drone station, but you know, the very first step is of course to research for this technology and the drone station. But I think that's already done in this mission. Yeah, the drone station is here down below. Okay, now we have to find a nice spot for this station, and then we are ready to go. And as soon as you
Ammo and
select
fuel storage are full.
the drone station, you have to decide which type of drone you want to use for the station. And as I said before, the support and combat drones are not available yet, but we can use the scan drones and or the recycle drones. And I think we start with the scan drones. And maybe you ask yourself, what the heck are scan drones? And the scan drones are part of a new
Enemy is history.
mechanic inside Hyperwar. To explain you this new mechanic a little bit, I will switch over to the radar view, because here you can see all the available metal patches and spots. So each little white marker shows you a metal spot. Here and here down below, 2 other patches with some spots. But there is a new kind of marker. So this brownish marker here is showing you a position of a hidden metal patch. So all the spots inside that patch are not visible yet, because they are below the ground, so to say. And you have to scan the area in order to make these spots usable for you. And that's the reason for the scan drones. You have to send the scan drones to this position, for example, and then it takes some minutes after you have these spots usable. Okay, and these new markers, the hidden patches, are only visible after you have installed the data center. So that's connected to the data center. Okay. After your decision which type of drone you want to use for the station here, you can start to build the drones simply by pressing these buttons here. And you can build up to 4 drones for each station.
Starting drone production.
And by the way, you cannot control these drones directly because the drones are controlled
Discovered us.
by the station. Okay, now these drones are ready. The next step is to set the scan zone for the drones. And that's easy, simply press this button here to see this kind of marker, a zone marker. But you know, if you left click, nothing happens, because you have to connect this marker to this kind of marker, this new marker here. And that means you can save this area as a scan zone for the drones.
Drones on the way.
Okay, and now these drones are on the way. And as soon as they reach the destination, they start to scan the whole area. Where are the drones?
Metal and ammo storage are full.
Okay, here. And it looks cool, in my opinion. I like it a lot. And now you can see how these drones are start
Discovered.
to scan the zone. And on top of this little marker here, you see the progress of the whole process. And as soon as
Bastard.
this process is finished, the drones will automatically return to the station,
Shit,
of
it is
course.
lost.
And then you will see what you get. How many new metal spots you have
Destroyed.
usable in this area.
Metal and ammo storage are full.
And it's of course your decision if you want to protect these drones a little bit by sending some combat vehicles. So for example, I can send these vehicles into the zone or nearby the zone, because otherwise it can be that you will lose all the drones by enemy fire.
This unit is on the way.
Hopefully this new mechanic makes the gameplay a bit more interesting, because you know, you don't have all the metal spots usable at the very beginning, and you have to scan some areas first. So I think that's a cool new feature.
Oh shit, they discovered us.
Okie dokie. Ay ay ay. Okay, and now we go on with the next type of drone, the recycle drone. And I think we built a new drone station for this demonstration. Yes, 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 yes. Maybe here.
New drone station completed. Build more ammo storage.
And the procedure is exactly the same as with the scan drones. First we have to build all the drones
Starting drone production.
we need.
Starting drone production?
And in order to see
Metal
all
layer
the
is used up.
frags on the battlefield, press and hold down the tab key. Then you will see all the frags. Maybe we start here behind our base. No.
Metal and ammo storage are full.
Okay, the drones are ready now. And now that's the same procedure. First we have to set the recycle zone.
Enemy unit formation sighted.
We need friendly fire protection.
And now the zone is saved and the drones are on the way to this area.
Damn bastard.
Here they come.
Ready for action.
Metal and ammo storage are full.
Yeah, that looks cool. Nice view.
Enemy has been eliminated.
And now these drones are starting to recycle all the frags inside that zone.
We are under attack. We have a massive hit. Damn bastard. The area is cleared.
And as soon as all the frags are recycled,
Metal and ammo storage
the
are full.
drones will automatically fly back to the station, of course. So now all the frags inside that area are recycled. And now we can delete this zone and set a new zone. And if you don't delete that zone and at some point new frags are available inside that zone, then you know these drones will automatically fly to this zone again. Okay, now
Enemy unit spotted. Oh no, unit bursts into flames.
Metal and ammo storage are full.
Drones on the way. Enemy is history. Enemy destroyed.
and by the way,
This unit
If-
is ready to go.
the battery of a drone is low, then the drone is flying back to the station in order to charge the battery, and then they will come back to the zone to go on with the scanning procedure.
Enemy is history.
So the blue progress bar shows you the battery.
Enemy has been eliminated.
Metal and ammo storage are full.
Enemy
Oh my
is
god.
burning. peace, asshole. Enemy is history.
Okay, now we have a closer look at the scan zone, because I think the progress is nearly finished. Yes. And we can see what we get here at this location, how many spots we get. %.
New metal spot detected.
Ah, okay. 4 new spots. That's nice. Okay, and it's every time possible to switch to another type of drone
Metal and ammo storage are
for
full.
each station. So currently we have one station with recycle drones and one station with scan drones. But now maybe we don't need these drones anymore, and we can now switch over to recycle drones. So that's also easy. Simply press the switch button and confirm this process. And then, you know, all the drones are destroyed because we have to build new drones. So now we can select the new drone type,
Helicopter lost.
and we have to build
Starting drone production.
new drones. And now we have 2 stations with recycled drones available. So
We need more ammo
that's also nice to have.
Enemy units in range.
Enemy defeated.
Okay.
Enemy is history. Position under control.
That's good. Okay guys,
Metal and ammo storage
that's
are
all.
full.
I hope you liked the video, and see you soon. Bye bye.